call the September 2nd, 2025 Stevens County Planning Commission meeting. Dennis Black opens the word of prayer.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, thank you this day and thank you for many blessings of life. Be with us as we go through this meeting, that we'll make honest and true decisions that are best for the county. Be with those who lost loved ones today. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Thank you. All right, everyone should have a copy of the agenda.
We do have one small change to the agenda. On item number 2, the rezoning request, there's a typo in there. It should say rezoning 0.066 acres as opposed to 0.006. It was legally advertised with 0.066.
Okay. All right. Questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, everyone should have a copy of last month's meeting minutes in their packet here. Seeing changes, comments, questions, or entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to new items.
Okay. All right, we'll now begin the public hearing portion of the meeting. We have 5 items of business scheduled for tonight's meeting. We will call for them sequentially in order. Each of the items, we will begin by asking for those wishing to speak in favor of each item. Each individual will have up to 10 minutes to speak. We ask that you give your name and address for the record and come up to the podium. Following from those wishing to speak in favor, we will then call for those wishing to speak in opposition to each item. You will also have up to 10 minutes to speak, and we ask that you give your name and address for the record. Following from that, if there needs to be a rebuttal by the applicant, the Planning Commission can provide that if they would like, and that would be a 3-minute rebuttal. We will then, after we take each item, we'll take each in turn and vote on them from there. Are there any questions or comments about how the public hearing will commence this evening? All right, we'll go ahead and begin. Item number 1 is a variance request from Tony Keller, 353 Oakway Drive, Toccoa, parcel 044193. The property is currently zoned as residential single, and the proposed action to be taken is to grant a variance to allow for an accessory structure within the front yard. Chapter 59, Article 16, Section 59-1610 of the Stevens County Code of Ordinances requires accessory structures be permitted only in side or rear yards of a parcel, and thus a variance is being requested. The subject property is 4.34 acres and, as detailed by the applicant, is not viewable from the street or neighboring parcels due to accessibility to the parcel. This is a low-intensive use, and recommendation from staff is to approve as requested. Are there any questions or comments from the Planning Commission? All right. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this item? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? All right. The land use public hearing for item number 1 is closed.
Heard the discussion. Any questions, comments, discussion from the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
All right.
Second.
All right. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
All right. Item number 2 is a rezoning request from James Bruce III, 34 Buena Vista Drive, East Denali, parcel 044-005. The property is currently zoned as agricultural residential, and the proposed action to be taken is to rezone 0.066 acres from agricultural residential to residential single for combination purposes. The rezoning will allow the property owner to the south to have full access to an area of the neighboring property that they are presently utilizing. There should be no adverse impact upon the neighborhood, and recommendation from staff is to approve as requested. Are there any questions or comments from the Planning Commission? Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this request?
My name is Maurice Daly, and I live at 88 Buena Vista Drive. I'm the adjoining property that is requesting to purchase this .066 acres. Apparently, back in 1987, my father built a driveway and a carport into the home, and he used a property line that was a well-established, to his knowledge, was well-established. He bought the property in 1964, and there was a barbed wire fence along the property, and Miss Pearl Seegers owned that property, and since then, several other people have owned properties there, and no one has said anything that part of this property has belonged to them. And now I thought I was going to have this property till the day I died, but I am having to sell the property and have discovered that this belongs to my neighbor. So he has agreed to sell me this small portion so that the driveway and this small utility building that has been there since 1987 can belong to the people buying the property, so there'll be no questions about it. So I would appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this item? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? All right, the land use public hearing for item number 2 is closed.
Okay. Any questions, comments, discussion from the board?
I understand what you're going through. My father and grandfather did a lot of those markings, trees, and so I understand. I move to approve.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Items number 3 and 4 are for the same property. We can take them together if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay. This is for a variance request and a conditional use request from Kelly Subetti, 192 Richardson Street, Toccoa, parcel 032A122. The property is currently zoned as residential single, and the proposed actions to be taken are to grant a variance to allow for an accessory structure within the front yard, and to grant a conditional use permit to utilize the accessory structure for boarding and grooming of animals. Thanks. Sorry. Chapter 59, Article 16, Section 59, 1610 of the Stevens County Code of Ordinances requires accessory structures to be permitted only in the side or rear yard of a parcel, and thus a variance is being requested. It also requires a setback of 10 feet from any property line for accessory structures. The property owner hopes to utilize the accessory structure as a home-based business, which would be a dog grooming and boarding business. The property owner has provided a site plan and has stated that the left side of the property is bordered by a chain link fence, and that relocating it would be costly and disruptive and could compromise the security and functionality of the yard. The property owner instead believes that the most appropriate location to place the accessory structure is on the existing driveway, which the property owner states will not impact neighboring properties or obstruct views. As far as staff can determine, the Board of Commissioners has never granted a variance to place an accessory structure directly on an existing driveway. The concern is that placing this accessory structure will detriment the health, safety, and welfare of the general area by prohibiting access to the driveway by emergency services personnel, including fire and EMS, as well as public safety. Additionally, any vehicles parking at the property, including potential customers utilizing the home-based business, could have difficulty with ingress and egress. While the Board of Commissioners has at times granted side yard setback variances, they've not done so in such a location as that requested. And then moving forward to the second application, we have to look at Section 59, 1612 of the code, which details home occupation and states that home occupation should be incidental and secondary to the residential use of the dwelling and should not change the residential character of the building or lot. There is some concern that the request would be located in a densely populated and historic subdivision, and that the request as detailed in the variance application places the request in the front yard directly on the existing driveway, which places the accessory structure in a position of prominence on the lot, thereby detailing its uses as opposed to the usage of the principal structure, which is the residence. The staff report goes in and lists all the criteria to consider for a conditional use, but generally speaking, the recommendation from staff is to deny both the variance and the conditional use permit. Are there any questions or comments from the Planning Commission? Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Yes, ma'am, if you'll come up.
I'm Kelly Sabetti, and it's my property. The reason why, there's still room to park 2 vehicles at the end of the driveway. The driveway is very long, and on the right side of my house, the privacy fence is here, and between my privacy fence and my house is only like 10 feet, so you can't put the building that way. Like, you can't go from the driveway around the house because there's not enough footage. On the other side, I have a chain link fence that goes around from my house to the end of my yard, through my property, back to the house. It's like I drew it on a map that should have been in the paperwork, so you can see the layout. And there's like, literally, the fence has been there so long that the trees are growing through the fence and everything. So to remove the fence, to put the building to go on the left side of my house, which there's room, but you'd have to take down the fence in 2 different places to do that, which would then mean you'd have to replace all of that chain link fence, which would be, I couldn't afford to do that. And then that's the why it is where it is. And as far as emergency vehicles or anything, you can still get a whole car can go in between the building and my fence. So you can still go all the way up to my house. So there's plenty of room there for vehicles and for parking.
There's an entire staff report in the packet. If there's a specific question, we'd be happy to answer.
I don't remember what else it was, but, so. That's why I was asking for it to be where it is.
How many clients do you have coming in and out every day, would you say? How
Well,
much traffic would there be?
it would just be one person at a time.
About how many per day?
Some days it would be none, some days it could be 4 or 5. At most, it would be 5, probably.
And as far as the boarding, how many animals?
I only have 2 5x5 suites in there, which is like they're 6 foot tall and they're 5 foot by 5 foot.
They would be indoors all the time?
No,
No.
that's where they would sleep and be, but I have a fenced-in yard that they could play in that I'd watch them in. So they would be in and out, but that would be where they would sleep. But I could only do 2 dogs at a time for boarding. So boarding would be very low. I wouldn't be doing that as I just want to do it for the people that I've done it for the past year, because I was off of Currahee on Almond Street. That's where I was, but it was like $3,500 a month, just operation, just to pay the bills there, and I wasn't making that. So the customers that I have that are very loyal and that I love their babies, I still want to be able to help them and take care of their dogs. And then for grooming too, I have a lot of dogs that I've groomed for the past year that I would like to continue grooming. And I have 7 dogs on my own, so the tub and all of that is very expensive. So like my tub's $1,000. So instead of just leaving it and losing it, I put it in my building because I've got to take care of my own dogs anyway. So whether I get to do it professionally or not from my house, I still need it there for my own dogs because I have to groom them and bathe them. But I would like to be able to also still service those customers that I can.
So emergency services can still get an ambulance or fire truck between the building and the fence.
Yes.
So is there a distinction between, I mean, sounds like how much boarding would you say you would do? Do you have people boarding all the time, or is this like
I
once a
don't.
month or once every 2 months, or what would you say?
Honestly, it would really just depend, because I couldn't even, I mean, where I was before, it was very secure and dogs couldn't get out, so like I could do any dog. But here in my own yard, it's not, I mean, it's just a 4-foot fence, so like I would have to be careful in who I take and who I
So
couldn't take.
at your other place, how often were you doing it? Were you full all the time, or?
No, I probably did, Sometimes I wouldn't have any, and sometimes I'd have 1 or 2 or 3. And on holidays, I might have 7 or 8. But the most I could do at my house is 2 dogs, or a family with 2 dogs and a family with 1 dog, like that. So it would be very limited on boarding. But grooming, I could do like, depending on the dogs that I did, I could do anywhere from 1 to 5 a day.
So, are there, I guess I'm trying to just determine how much business you would have. Is there a distinction between boarding and, sounds like maybe you're pet sitting. Is there a distinction between pet sitting and boarding? I mean, are you licensed as a boarder, or
I am,
are you required to have a license to board animals, or no?
yes. And I'm licensed, but I'm licensed for Ivy League for 15 Almond Street. So if you guys give me the approval, I'll have to have them come out, and then the state would go through, I'll have to go through all this stuff again. So then the state would come out, and I have a kennel license, which is for the boarding. And then, I don't know about the other license. The other license was from the city, which she said I don't have to have one for the county, but I guess that's why I'm here in front of y'all. So, but yes, you have to have a kennel license.
How many would be outside? What would be the largest number of animals or dogs that would be outside at one time?
I don't mix, like, it would, like, if I had a family with 2 dogs, then their 2 dogs would be outside at the same time.
Just trying to determine if there's going to be a large number of dogs that would be barking and be, you know.
I have 7 dogs.
Yeah.
So my 7
That's what I was wondering, if you're 7.
are going to be the
out there,
most that will ever be there. No, the most that would ever be there at a time would be probably 3 other dogs other than mine. And they wouldn't be out at the same time because I don't mix them in case they fight, because it's just me. So I just put my dogs out and then back in the house and then their dogs out. And then I'm outside with them. Like, I don't just leave them out and not watch them. So if they're outside, I'm watching them. I'm outside with them.
I was just trying to determine if it could possibly be a nuisance if there were several barking at one time, a nuisance to the neighbors.
No. And honestly, most of the dogs, like grooming, they wouldn't be outside at all. They would just, the people would come, I would take them in, I would groom them, I'd call them when I'm finishing up, they would come pick their dog up and they'd be gone. So they wouldn't even, like, that part wouldn't even be outside. And then the boarding dogs, like I said, it would be, the most I have is 2 5x5 suites, so the most I could do is either 2 dogs in one suite at a time, or 1 dog in each suite if they're from different families. So it wouldn't be, and the most, they would go out separately. But I do have them outside a lot because I don't want, I'm not one to keep dogs locked up. Like, that's my thing. I don't like that. So I give them as much outside time as I can. But.
Other questions? All right, thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of the request?
All right, hello. I am Chloe Sailors. I am a biology pre-professional major at the college, hoping to become a veterinarian. I volunteered under Miss Kelly Sabetti for a while, and under her, I've seen how she takes care of animals. She treats every pet literally like it's her own. Everything she does is for the animal. She's very careful about like which dogs are mixed. She does notes of what the owners say to how to care for them and stuff. And she just pays so much attention to each and every animal and what they need and how to take care of them. And I don't know, I've just seen her care and her dedication to all of them. And I think her other customers that have, sent their dog to be groomed by her, to be boarded by her, they see that too. And she really cares about every person that comes in, because I've seen that as I volunteered under her. And I know that if she has this new business where she is now, I know that whatever she does, she'll do it for the dogs and for the people that come to her, because she's genuinely just that sort of person. That, and I've heard the people who come in, because I would see them come in as well and bring their dogs, they'd be like, oh, I'm so glad I can come to you, because we can tell you really, you care about our dogs like we care about our dogs. And I think there's only one other place around that really does it, and they're like booked up for ages. So I think that her having that would provide people with a place to go where someone genuinely cares about the pets and doesn't leave them like locked in a small area for most of the day. So yeah, that's why I came in support of her. So thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item?
I'm Dave Schreiber. A few years back, the dog we had bonded with the neighbor, and the neighbor was able to take care of the dog when we went out of town. That dog expired. The new dog doesn't like the neighbor. So we were forced to go find a kennel. And that was a little bit hard, but I knew about Kelly. So we went down there. Our dog likes her. The kennel's great. It was clean. And then when she had to move, we were forced to go find another kennel. Well, in Stevens County, anywhere in the neighboring vicinity, kennels are very few and far between. And we finally found one, but I think she's providing a service for the community, and I'd like to encourage you to work with her to make that happen.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this request? Yep. Yeah.
My name's Eddie Moore. I just want to echo a lot of what the last guy just said. She provides a convenient service that's real close in town. I was having to go all the way out to almost Carnesville, or if you try to get into Curry Bed, it's too hard. She's trying to build a business, and she's going to build a business based on her reputation, but it's not busy enough to pay the prices she was paying on Curry Street right now. And the only way to build a business is if you guys give her an opportunity to build a business. So we're just asking that you give her that opportunity.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item?
Hi, my name's Mariana Miller. I'm a client of Kelly's. We've had our dogs there, I think, 3 times, and the care they've received is excellent. Another point that I don't think anybody else made, but the nature of grooming is labor-intensive. It's time-intensive, which means it's not high volume. So Kelly's going to have people coming, but you're not talking about a glut of people. And the same thing with the boarding. In our case, when we have to go out of town, it's usually for several days at a time, which means we may leave our dogs with Kelly for 5 days, 7 days. Since Kelly's been forced to move, we now have to drive an hour and a half to find a kennel that's suitable for our dogs. They're large dogs. And we miss Kelly and the care that she provides. I mean, it's definitely personal. I mean, we have a dog that we adopted that's been running loose in the Great Smoky Mountains for 3 years. Animal control couldn't catch it. I caught it when it whelped and brought it back with 2 pups. Kelly was able to make contact with that dog. That dog will accept her to touch her, and it hasn't let anybody else touch her. So Kelly's a good person. We need Kelly.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item?
Yes, I'm Norman Giles. I actually reside, we actually reside in Clarksville at this time. However, I feel like we all got something that we're passionate about. If you don't, I think we need to try to find something that we're passionate about. But I say that to say Miss Kelly is passionate about what she does. And taking care of dogs is, I worked with her in the school system in Habersham County for a year, and I saw her passion for the kids. But then when I heard that she was leaving there to open her own business as far as the kennel, I told my wife, if and when we need somebody to keep our dog, because he's 2 years old now, I said, I'd like to go to Kelly because I know her heart. And so, knowing and understanding the person for who they truly are, I feel like, honestly, she's deserving of it, and I hope y'all grant that because, again, she's passionate about what she does. She does a great job, and it was kind of hard once she stopped to find somewhere, even though we got a couple in Habersham, but it's just, I know her heart, you know what I mean? And again, knowing somebody and understanding their passion, you know they're going to do good in whatever it is that they do. And so, again, if you guys got a dog, I encourage you, try out.
All right, thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor?
My name is Shirley Gregory, and I live on Richardson Street, so I not only know her personally, but I see what she does with her babies. They're not just dogs. I'm going to cry now. They're fur babies, and she becomes the second mama to those dogs. I've seen it happen to every one of your dogs. To mine, she loves a look. She grooms mine. We had one little dog we lost in March. Second mama. Then we have another bigger dog now that's a doodle, and most groomers don't want to do doodles. You know what I'm talking about? She did an excellent job. She talks to them while she does them. I mean, she makes them feel safe. She makes them feel just wrapped up in her arms so they don't fight her. That is rare. You know what I'm talking about? Like Boss said, if you have a dog, if you have any fur babies at your house, she's the one to take them to. I would recommend her anytime, anywhere. I can't help but get emotional because I love her. And this, you got to come see this building that you're talking about. It is the cutest thing ever. When you walk inside, she's got it all separated out where she can put them up. I've worked for a veterinarian before, and they put them all in the back. Didn't even put their toys in there. Plays with them. She makes toys and their blankets and whatever belongs to them. Rare. Smaller, you can give more. So give her a chance. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak? Okay.
Hey, my name's Shannon Hayes, and I also live on Richardson Street with Miss Kelly and the other ladies, Miss Shirley and also Miss Peggy. But I have also worked with Kelly at the previous shop that she worked at, and I can say just from experience with her, not only is she passionate, but she's very thorough and clean, very consistent. And that, to me, you know, I have dogs as well, and they're not just a dog, they're our fur babies, like Miss Shirley said. But, you know, one thing that I really noticed when working with her is that she's, you know, loving to them, you know, and that every night, actually before closing the shop, she prays with, you know, says a prayer over the dogs, and I really respect that. So, I definitely think that you guys should give her a chance as well.
Thank you.
I'll take down the whole podium here.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this item? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this item? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? All right, the land use public hearings for items number 3 and 4 are closed.
Okay, we've heard the discussion. Any further questions, comments from the board? I think we we see that you're obviously very talented and loved and passionate about your job. I think our issue here is not about what you do or how you do it. We obviously do a good job, but it's the placement of the building on the lot, I think, is the issue here. I think if there was any way you could put it in the backyard, I don't think we would be here, correct? Yeah, so,
She'd still need the conditional use permit, but you wouldn't need the variance.
would it even fit? You said on the left side, there's no way to get the building.
Have you already purchased this building? Do you have it? Where is it currently? In your driveway? I saw pictures, but I didn't see a picture in the driveway. Okay. Yeah, I tend to agree. Obviously, we're not against putting buildings in side yards. I mean, we just approved one moments ago, but I just don't think having one in the existing driveway is the right place for it, is where it should go. And I know removing the fence would cost you money, but I still think it needs to go to the left side or to behind the residence. I just don't think putting it in your driveway is the right place for it. I mean, according to their staff's recommendations, I mean, there's concerns with emergency vehicles. I know you can still get one vehicle, maybe two, but, you know, in emergency situations, you may need more room than that. So that's just my opinion on the board.
What's the distance from the road to the building, roughly? Will a car fit in there? Okay. So you could get a car in front of the building and then two. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Got a motion to approve?
For both?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I have a motion for approval and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
2-2.
Is there another motion?
Another motion?
I think. Is there a plan B for the grooming and board without the building? No, I don't disagree with that. Yeah. Sure. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I just think.
Sounds like there's room for 3 vehicles, and there's no opposition from neighbors.
But that's with the gate open, correct?
If there is no other motion.
If there's not another motion, then it dies, and there would not be an approval recommendation.
Still go to the commissioners.
Yeah, it would still go to the commissioners.
Because it's one of those, I'm okay. I was a little concerned with the grooming and boarding based on the number of pets you would have, but it sounds like that would be minimal. So I'm okay with the grooming and boarding, but I'm not okay with the building placement. So if you can't have the building placed there, it sounds like you can't have the grooming and boarding, correct?
Yeah, I just think, I didn't drive by the property, but I think, seems to me taking down a little fence and replacing it would allow you to have your business, so I think that's not too much. How much was it?
Well, I'll make a motion to deny the building placement in the front yard and the driveway, but approve the grooming and boarding, hoping that we can come up with a plan B so you can have the grooming and boarding. That's my recommendation, is approve, make a motion to deny the building in the front yard and the driveway, but approve the grooming and boarding conditional use permit.
Okay. That would be, we have a motion for approval for denial for item number 4 and approval for item number 5?
No, it would be denial of 3 and approval of 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Denial of, well, I mean, if we're going to do that, I would say just, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I think if we're going to move it, might as well just put it to the side or in the back like the ordinance kind of says. So. Okay. All right. So motion for denial of item 3, approval for, do we need to take those separate since they're separate?
Yeah, you can take them separate.
Okay. Item number 3, we have a motion for denial of item number 3. Do I have a second? I'll second. All right. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Aye. For item number 4, we have a motion for approval of item number 4. Second. All right, motion and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
All right, so just for clarification's sake, because there's no positive motion for item number 3, there won't be a positive recommendation going to the Board of Commissioners. Item number 4's recommendation will be approval.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is a rezoning request from Brittany Stowers, 4373 Oak Valley Road, Toccoa, parcel 050071. The property is currently zoned as agricultural residential. The proposed action to be taken is to rezone to residential single for residential purposes. The property owner would like to rezone for a potential future residential subdivision. A draft plat has been provided showing approximately 21 lots. If the rezoning is approved, the property owner would have to submit for plat approval by the Board of Commissioners. Tonight's action is just rezoning the property. It is not plat approval. With that being said, the property does touch residential single properties to the north and the south, and with the acreage provided, as long as proper road construction is completed, the property could be usable for future residential purposes. Recommendation from staff is to approve as requested. Are there any questions or comments from the Planning Commission? Okay. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this request? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? The land use public hearing for item number 5 is closed.
Okay, any discussion from the board? I will just like to reiterate, this is just for the rezoning, not for approval of the lots as submitted.
Yeah. Make a motion to approve rezoning.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, is that all for business? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.